Alzheimer's is an irreversible progressive brain disease that slowly destroys memory and the person living with the illness. More than 5 million Americans live with this disease, for which there is no cure. The Now KC's Terra caught up with a local theater group taking the stage to speak up about how this disease is personally affecting them.
KC Fringe is an 11-day festival that celebrates local art, culture, and creativity. And while there are 480 performances going on, there's just one that's shining the spotlight on a deadly disease.
Channing Wolf isn't typically a front and center kind of guy, but this week he's taking the stage on Broadway.
This is my first time on Broadway, and not a lot of people make it to Broadway, but I wish I wouldn't have made it this way.
His wife, Michelle, has Alzheimer's disease. For the last several years, Channing has watched his youthful wife, who was formerly so full of life, wilt into the person she is today.
It's discouraging sometimes, but for 34 years that we were married before she was diagnosed, she was my caregiver, but I didn't realize it. Turnaround's fair play for the last 6 years.
So rather than idly standing by, he and the cast of 7 stages, 7 stories, are stepping into the spotlight to speak out on Alzheimer's and how the disease is affecting them.
My aunt has Alzheimer's and my sister.
There's power in shared stories and not remaining silent about something that is sometimes hard to talk about.
It is our story.
When you get it out and you talk about it, you find there's lots more people that are also dealing with the same disease. They have a family member, they may have a loved one, they have a friend that is experiencing this, and we learn from each other.
My father used to love to sing, but he lost his voice.
And that includes the audience, who the cast and crew hope walk away from the play feeling more knowledgeable and empowered than when they walked in.
The show's producers tell me they hope this play will evolve and change so they can include other actors who are living with Alzheimer's disease. Reporting in Kansas City for the Now KC, I'm Terra Hall.
There are 2 showings left for 7 stories, 7 stages. You can catch the play at the Phosphor Studio on Broadway tonight and Thursday at 6 and Saturday at 4:30.
Well, Alzheimer's is a painful disease for both the patient and the family, but the Now's Terra Hall discovered new therapies are now emerging.
They are, and it's important because chances are you know someone who will be affected by Alzheimer's. Here are the numbers. Every 67 seconds, a person is diagnosed with the disease. That's why one man is on a mission to help those suffering find some relief.
Kermit Smith is an artist. He's a writer, and he's someone living with memory loss.
It's part of life. It's part of our life, most of us. I mean, my life, from a very small child, I've always had a lot of poetry.
That's why he and the other residents at Stratford Commons Memory Care joined in on the Alzheimer's Poetry Project. The workshop incorporates nursery rhymes, poetry, and songs that have the power to trigger memories long forgotten and create new ones.
They are making new synaptic connections, which means that the brain can still adapt and be flexible and still learn, which is kind of new for us to think about people living with memory loss in that way.
By the name of Annabelle Lee.
By the name of Annabelle Lee.
Johnna Lowther and Gary Glasner led the workshop. They say it's an important tool to use in memory loss patients because as their memories begin to disappear, so do the things that make them happy.
I hope that it gave them, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of joy. This disease can be painful, and it's very isolating because it builds walls around you, emotionally and mentally. And so my goal by integrating creative arts therapies in these types of settings and promoting our communities to do more of that is to break down those walls for the residents individually so they can communicate, they can engage, and sort of connect to the land of the living again.
We want to find a cure, but my goal is, what can we do today? What can we do today to make the life quality go up, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy, and so that's what I want to accomplish with programs like this.
And it's working, at least in the short term. Patients' eyes lit up as they recited poems and even wrote their own. Glasner says that this type of non-traditional medicine isn't just good for the soul. It may actually assist scientists in finding the key to unlocking the cause of and the cure for Alzheimer's.
All right, and you can actually do some of this at home for a parent or a loved one who is suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's. All you need are nursery rhymes from their childhood or poems, songs you know they liked, and it's a good way for you to interact with them and maybe spark some memories from the past.
The power of a poem. Pretty good stuff. Thank you, Terra.